Hello, this is Victor, and this week I want to dedicate the weekly paint on how to paint fur. And I will use this time a very easy technique. I paint fur only using dry brush. And in particular, I will focus on wolf's fur. And then what I did is first I like to search some pictures to see different type of wolf and different type of furs related to this animal. So here I dig to search for different colors and species or subspecies of the wolves. Here you can see black and white wolves fur. Here you can see how the fur of the wolf can change a lot and can have a lot of different tonalities depending on the wolf. So we have from very silvery black colors and brown, dark brown. So here you can see, and it's good to look all the different tonalities. You see, for example, the ones at the left, that the back is quite dark and the belly is quite clear, and then have even brownish and silvery tonalities and some beige. The ones that are very dark, combining dark and black and dark brown. So it's important to see and to have a model that you want to follow when you're painting. So for example, here we have different colors. I also like these pictures because you can see the eyes of the wolves, so it's also good guidance for other part of the anatomy. So it's very for me it's good to look pictures as inspiration and use this picture as a guidance when you paint your miniatures to realize the different colors and the different how the different things that you want to paint are looks like, no? For example, here you can see how the ace, you can have the yellow ace of the top wolf, or you can have the blue ace, and also you can see different furs from light brown combined with dark brown to very silver and the dark one. Here now examples. So I like to look some examples how the fur is looking like. This is a white wolf, and you see that in some parts there is a little bit of beige, and also it's good to see how the face is looking like. So I think it's very important to see some pictures of wolves. Here more pictures that we can use as inspiration, and especially if you do, for example, of goblins or goblins wolf riders. In that tutorial we do a the wolf of goblin rider. So if you see here, and you can take different furs and then you can have different tonalities and not have always the same color for all the wolves. So it is a good inspiration. Also, if you do a space wolf, so look real wolves to see how the fur is looking like and what are the different species and different species of wolves that we have. Here more pictures. I like to have I was just, and this is just looking at Google image and just type wolf, then I type silver wolf, and then you type black wolf, and you have all the different colors. And this is the wolf that I'm using as a guidance for the painting job, and I will focus only on the fur of this wolf. I want to play a little bit with a dark back and a clear belly. So this is the wolf, and now let's take the brush and let's start painting the model. So after watching the pictures of the wolves, now I'm going to paint this wolf here, and I will use the one that is dark at the back and is much clearer at the bottom. Is one like one of the gray wolves. So I will try to keep this back as dark as possible, and I will do the bottom part lighter. So what I will do first is I will differentiate both parts, and to do that I will start applying downstone, sorry, at the bottom of the wolves, and that way we are going to have a good differentiation between the top and the bottom. So you don't need to be very precise here. I like to keep the picture next to me to see how it's looking like and how I wanted it to look like, and then I will start painting. So for sure I will start like something like that, and then don't care about the other details. But the well, this is the wolf that is coming with the goblin from the was a very old miniature. Was the goblin that was one of the characters of the Dogs of War, and I have it this for a while. Indeed, I have two of them, so I will paint one of them just to add to my Dogs of War army. I don't think there are rules for that wolf right now, so if you are watching this video and you know if there are rules, please let me know. I will try to look for that. But at this moment I just doing this, I just painting this to give a tutorial on how I will do the wolf. One thing I will do, one thing you want to do is take benefit of the sculpt. So for example, here there is some special thing, so I will paint this also clear, and this one like is making like a color. I will not do all the color, but you go slightly up. So you don't want to be uniform when you apply. You don't want a straight line that is a division between the what is clear and what is not clear on the wolf. So you want to make it a little bit irregular. You want to keep focus at the bottom part of the wolf is the darker part. But for example, you can make here this part going up. Okay, and now it's looking very hard, the transition, but we are going to smooth it down later. So you can go here up. You want to keep the same on the other side. So I will paint here. I will keep, you see this wolf is quite special, it's quite a strange wolf. I think it's a wargo, or I don't know how it's, that there is have no fur on the face and have not fur on the legs. So I guess it's not really wolf, it's some monster derived from a wolf, but I will follow the same scheme. And at the beginning I was thinking to make it completely black, but if I do it completely black it's not going to help anyone on this tutorial. So at the end I prefer to do some different colors to show here in the tutorial how I will do a different or different grays or the fur for a wolf and similars. So you can reply, and as I say in the introduction, there are a lot of type of wolves. Always look for nature and some pictures from internet as a inspirational and guidance, because sometimes we have something in mind, but watching some pictures will help you to bring this to something that makes more sense and it's more real. Anyway, when you're doing that, if you list a little bit some areas darker than others, don't be worried. So as we can see, the fur is not precisely all the same color, so you can, there are some spots in the dark areas that can be clearer, and there are some spots on the clear area that can be darker, depending if the wolf, on the dirtiness, and also on the fur, how the fur have grown on this wolf. So as you can see, first I will paint some parts clearer. Okay, I think this will be just good enough. And doing for the beginning will be almost everything dry brush. You want to dry brush to take this texture, to make this texture that is pop up. So this can be one way to start. Okay, I will do a little bit like very soft dry brush up from here to start smoothing the transition. Okay, so this can be the first step. I realize that I still have the primer is not complete on the top, so I will apply a little bit of black. I have to say that at this moment I just prime this wolf with black, and I did not spray it as I used to do. Okay, and also take into account that I will only do the fur in that tutorial. I will not go into other details of the wolf, so I will just work the fur, and later on maybe I will finalize the miniature. It's not in my list at this moment. I just take this wolf, I start the work to show how to do fur, because it was one of the requests that I received from previous videos. So this is the first part, and now I will start by brushing, and I always recommend to start very soft and start building up from there. So I will start first by brushing the darker part with Ashen Grey. Take a soft brush to do that. I will take one of my old brush, is quite soft, and let's start. So you take the brush, have not a lot of mystery. You take paint, you dry it. I always try to first apply in some side, and then I will start applying on the wolf. Okay. This first dry brush is going to be very subtle. You almost cannot see anything at the beginning, and you want to start very soft. And here, just go on top of the clear parts. It's not a problem. If you see, I will need to make. So this is how the first brush will work. I don't dry this too much. Just apply. And normally what I try to do to make the dry brush more better is I try to go in the opposite direction of the sculpt. So if the hair is in that direction, I will go perpendicular to the direction of the hair. In that way you are helping more to the different textures. So I will do the tail. And here is all depending how dark or clear you want to go. It's going to be difficult to, if you leave the fur very dark, and as you can see in the pictures, you almost cannot appreciate the hair. But this is what happens in reality. When the fur is very dark, you cannot appreciate the hair. See that here I missed some hair. This moment I will not care a lot on the legs. I will focus mainly on the main body fur. Okay. Yes, this is the first layer. Now, next one. I will use, now, if I can find it, here, add downstone gray. This one you have to be now more careful. This is quite clear compared to the fur. And I will apply very soft. You see, now you can see the different fur. I realize that I still have some spots. I will correct some of these spots with black again, and I will be back in a moment. Okay, this is how it's looking like, and now I will go for even clear gray. I will use administrator gray, but this is too liquid at this moment. Now I will use administrator gray. Be careful because this is much thinner, so be sure that you dry well your brush. And I tested some in another place. When it's now, what I will do, I will start focusing more here at the side of the wolf. You see this transition is smoothing. Then the tail, I will make it much clearer. And I will try to keep the back of the wolf darker. Although I want to show, what I want to do is to keep the main part of the dog, of the back, sorry, darker. I don't want to go too much into light color. So you see the tail, I will keep it. Just don't press the brush. Just the brush has to pass in that case on top of the fur, and you will see all the different detail. No more here. You can do now some spots like that, and that's all. Okay, so this is how the fur is looking like now. Now we will do the bottom of the wolf. And to do the bottom, I will use white. We'll use white scar. Pick the miniature, and I will use here white scar. Take some, dry the brush, test it. Normally taste on a cork, on a surface, have some texture to see how strong it is. And I will start from the bottom. I'm going up. You see, this white is working very well with the gray layer. And as you see, I start from the bottom to up. It's not a problem if you go a little bit on the black, because if you have seen the picture, in that type of wolf where you have the black hair, it's not completely black, so they have some hairs on with white. So at first I will focus here on the light gray. And now what you can do is just touch some parts randomly. You can add a little bit more here on the top. Okay. And I think this can give, we'll focus a little bit more on the tail. Maybe at the bottom of the tail we can focus a little, we can put a little bit more of the white. You can see the white is working pretty well. So you can put a little bit more white at the bottom of the tail. Like that. Okay. We'll add a little bit more on the bottom. And you can put a little bit on the hair of the legs. This is more hair here. That way you already have it. Will work. So, and I think this will give nice grey fur, where you have different tonalities, and now you have to paint the rest. This is the way is playing with the different tonalities on grey in that case. One thing that you can do as well, you have seen that some wolves have a transition that is brown between the dark color and the light. You can do a very soft dry brush with brown next to here, then to simulate a little bit the brown hairs. We can do this as a test here, and I will use XV88. So what you want to do, for example, here you don't need, so you test it as well. What you can do is, for example, here where you have the change of between the two different parts, you add a little bit of brown. Also here at the leg, you can add some spots of brown, just very soft, not too much. That way you give a little bit of transition, and you give more richness to the fur. You can add a little bit on around the neck. Be careful, because the brush that you use to do that, you have to clean it very well once you finish, because normally dry brushing is destroying your brushes. So this a little bit of touch of brown will give. Can add it also here. Will add richness and will break the monochrome tonality. So, and this, for me, this is done as the fur for this wolf. Okay, so you see here how to work the fur. Okay, this could be easy, and if you have to make wolf riders or something like that, it will work very well. I see here on the tail you also can add a little bit to keep the same type of. You see this small touch of brown is giving a lot of life to the miniature. So I think this how will work. So that's all for this week tutorial. So I think this is one of the requirements. Let me know if you are happy with that or not. If you want to see more. If you want to see other things, maybe in future we will finalize this miniature. It's the goblin. In case you are curious, this the goblin was called Gazak Khan. So was part of the Dogs of War, where you can have also a unit of renown that is goblins, but this was a special character that you can use as a hero or as a lord. I don't remember well. This is the banner that he brings. So, and then have this, and this is the sword. So this guy goes walking on this wolf. This is the sword. So very old school. Was from the when was launched the very old Dogs of War book. So this is that, just a little bit of old fantasy miniatures. So this is how I will do the fur for this one, and then if you do browns, then you can start with darker browns and go to lighter browns. So, but it's to play with it's playing with the dry brushes mainly to pop up the fur, and just use some pictures from internet as inspiration to know how fur from the wolf looks like. Then what is going to be challenged if you want to do very white or very black fur, because then it's difficult to highlight the texture. So that's all for this video. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and see you again later. Bye.